How y'all doing? See what we got going. Everybody doing? Okay. Rolling. All right. All right, y'all. We're going to get into a discussion today. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. How's everybody doing today? We got what we got. All right. All right. Let's get the likes up. Only 107 people in right now. Let's see what we got. How y'all doing today? Peace. Like that. Hit the like button. He said I showed up early at the like button. Good, good, good. Y'all like these glasses? Yeah, everybody like these glasses. These some gazelles. I like these. Some of my favorite glasses too. Give you that rich man look, you know. Yes, you can cash at me a consultation. All right. Today, what I want to talk about is I want to talk about these tax forms, these 1099 OID, and I want to give y'all some history first and foremost. A lot of people you hear they were talking about, getting them to file the taxes on the case and so forth and things of that nature. And a lot of information that we hear about, one of the problems or one of the hard things that I used to encounter is nobody would show me how to fill out stuff or where to obtain information from. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm not saying this is definitively the answer, but this was one of the best answers that I came across in my search for trying to find out how to do certain things. Like, when you're in the courtroom and you want to get the taxes on the case. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this document with you like I normally do. It's like a teaching session. We're going to read through this and see what we can garner from it. Yeah, well, them MC Hammer shades. Well, I got the MC Hammer shades now. Gazelle makes those, but these are not the ones MC Hammer had. But that's old school Gazelle. I got some old school Gazelles. I've had these for a while. Y'all didn't see me in these before. I had these about 2 years. All right, let's see. So let's see. I wish I could be twice because I want to tag him in a reply. My consultations are $250 an hour. You have to cash at me at Yusefvale19, $ Yusefvale19. Put in your phone number and I will contact you. I'm doing consultations today. If I haven't gotten to you yet, it's because you're in line. All right. So let's see. You might want to tag him in your reply. Did you discharge your shades debt too? Discharge the shades debt. No, I didn't. I didn't, because it's not a debt. Why do I need to discharge the shades? I have money. I'm gonna start putting y'all on blast. Y'all be wanting to discharge your groceries and your clothes and shit like that. If you broke, just say it. Just say you broke. We're gonna have to start calling out some of y'all, because y'all think y'all supposed to discharge just everything. I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I came into this, the only thing we were thinking about discharging were criminal cases. We weren't even discussing. All y'all greedy people are the ones that came in and started talking about getting cars and houses and all that shit. We wasn't even thinking about that shit. I come from the background, we dealing with the criminal justice system. All this extra shit that y'all doing, trying to get free shit, we wasn't about that. I've always had money. I've always had money. So I've had money since I was 25 years old. So I've never had that poverty mentality to think I got to get something for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, you know, if you don't know how to make money for yourself, you think you got to discharge some gazelle with a $400 pair of glasses. I mean, that's a lot of money to you. Is that a lot of money? $400 is a lot of money to you? $500 shades is a lot of money to you? Is that a lot of money to you? Where you at? Is that a lot of money for you? I'm just saying. You got to change your thinking. All right, so let's get to it. Nature of the remedy. All right. Nature of the Remedy by Jim Rivers and Obi-Wan Kenobi. This was written in 2006. But this was a very, very popular Not a lot. No, it wasn't very popular. A lot of people don't know about this. Let's read what he's saying right here. What is the purpose of this white paper? In its simplest form, it is to address the question that is asked by almost every so-called freeman and inmate who has ever been railroaded by a totally corrupt so-called judicial system. For the individual who knows they have actually committed crimes against their fellow man, the outrage of being incarcerated is severely subdued by the self-admission of guilt and expectation of punishment if caught. So, it is a truly outraged individual railroaded by the system who will be the most motivated to make the concerted effort to understand the information presented here and to pursue its remedy. What is the system? And do I want to read this? I don't think I want to read this, because he gets into... Nah, maybe we should read it. Let's read this real quick. What is the system? Without a fundamental understanding of what the system actually is and some understanding of how it got that way, there's virtually no possibility of understanding and correctly implementing a remedy. The subject of what the system actually is, as opposed to what the system appears to be, could easily encompass a 1,000-page book. A history book explaining the events of the past that led up to the present state of the system could easily fill up several thousand pages. And even if such books were in your possession, would you make the effort to digest the information? And even more important, how could you know it was the truth? Or was it just a bunch of half-baked theories that fall apart upon the serious examination by objective analysis? And this is something that's very interesting too. Like the person just asked me, did you discharge your glasses? And it's a mentality. It's a mindset. It's like, okay, I took time, like when I was in my 20s, to read Think and Grow Rich, read The Master Key by Charles Handel, read The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. I kept reading and digesting that information until it started soaking into my psyche. I remember I read The Master Key, which is 24 Lessons by Charles Handel, probably 100 times, and just kept reading it and rereading it and rereading it until it was in my subconscious mind, until I got to the point where I understood that I am the creator. And also, I had to change my paradigm, my view of what was a lot of money. I remember when I was young, there was this guy in my neighborhood. He had he was selling dope. He was a dope boy, and I found out that he was making about $20,000 a week. And man, back then I was like 18, 17, 18 years old. I could not believe somebody was making $20,000 a week driving around in our neighborhood. I said, he's making 20. That's how much a doughboy makes, $20,000 a week. I was like, oh my God, you know. And he had a nice ass, back then, you know, what was in car in style was he had a Mustang GT with a custom paint job on it with some Dayton rims and a stereo system. And it was real nice. It was a very, very nice car. He obviously put a lot of money into designing this car. And of course, he had all the jewelry and all of that stuff too. And later, I remember I was thinking that, man, if I can just make $2,000 a week, I'll be a baller. I was thinking like this. I was thinking, you know, $2,000 a week. If I could just make $2,000 a week, man, I mean, I'll never have to work again, you know. You know, you're thinking like this. Well, I never saw $2,000 a week. I actually got to the point where I was making $5,000 a day. And when I got that, it was amazing how I looked at money differently, how $2,000 a week wasn't any money anymore. And what they do to you in jail is they try to destroy that in you. They try to destroy that in you. They try to beat you back down to the point where you look at $100 as if it's a lot of money. Like you might even kill somebody over $100 or something like that. Or, you know, you might get mad at somebody, want to do something to them for some gazelle glasses or some shit like that, you know, just some things. These just things. They're just things. They're just vibrational frequencies. This is just a vibrational frequency. That's all it is. This right here, it's just a vibrational frequency. It's just a vibrational it's just a thing. These are just things. So this right here brings these things to you. But you have to have your mind trained in a certain kind of way. And that is the result of repetition, just doing something over and over and over again, reading, digesting the right books, digesting the right information. A lot of y'all are very impressed with my level of knowledge with this, but the fact of the matter is it just really came through repetition, just reading something over and over and over again. You really can't master anything till you've read it about 7 times at least 7 times. Every time you read it, you'll get an epiphany, and there'll be something else about the information that you'll realize. And it's that way with the law of attraction as well. So I'm saying this to say, because a lot of people out there, you know, they got this thing with money and you want to discharge everything. I look at people who want to discharge anything. I look at you as having a poverty mindset, because the money is really not the issue. The discharge was really to take care of serious issues that come into your life, not trying to discharge your groceries, not trying to destroy the system. They're not going to let you destroy the system. They're not going to let you destroy the system. If you have this mindset that you think that you're going to make some sort of drastic change to the way things are, you're seriously deluding yourself. All right. Now you may be able to, you know, and if you want to get to the point where you discharge just everything, you probably could. You probably could set up a credit card and then set up some bond with the credit card company, and then, you know, have all your charges go through that credit card, and then you discharge that credit card. There is a lot of different ways that you could set up to do things, but why would you do that? The only reason you're thinking like that is because you're not a millionaire. Because if you had $100 million, you wouldn't even be thinking about this shit. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't even be over on this channel. You would be talking about discharging shit. Let's just keep it a stack. Am I right? Y'all in the comment section, am I right? Oh, let me say this about the seminar. The seminar is going to be on Saturday and Sundays. They put the wrong dates on there. They put the 13th and 14th. The dates are the 14th and 15th. Okay. It's it's Saturday and Sunday. You can get there on Friday, and it's going to be all day. Usually I don't have no end date. I usually start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's probably going to go to 6 o'clock in the afternoon on both days. This is going to be long. We're going to take a break, maybe even to 7 o'clock. Okay. I don't put an end date on it because when I do these things, they're usually all day events. I just roll until I get tired and we start the next day, but it's going to go at least 5 o'clock. Let me just put 8 to 5 o'clock. Okay. But it's never ended at 5. It probably ended at like 6 or something like that. Okay. All right. So let's get back to, they want to discharge the groceries, discharge, they want to discharge everything. And you got to, and the reason I'm being serious right now, because you got to get that out of your mindset. You got to get a relate. And, I was listening to this guy, this dude, he's on another channel. All right. And he's talking about, he tried to play something talking about the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And he had some European on here talking about the divine masculine. Masculine men are not men who have money. It's like they don't need those things. You don't need the Porsche. You don't need the Ferrari. You don't need the $1 million home. You don't need any of those things. Now, and he has some guy on there talking, and let me tell you how the wealthy look at that and how I look at it as well. Individuals who try to downplay individuals who have money, they're only making excuses for their own inadequacies. Because once you understand energy and how energy works, and the true masculine principle, because there's no such thing as divine masculine and divine feminine. That's some bullshit. I've been a student of esoteric studies for over 30 years, and I've never seen that word. That's some bullshit that a lot of these women have made up who are in these little groups, the divine feminine. And then like, what are you talking about? There's only one. There's one power. One. Okay, the different attributes of masculine and feminine. Masculine and feminine are universal principles. That means it applies on all levels. There's no divine feminine. There's only feminine. There's no divine masculine. There's only masculine. And when you're in your masculine, a woman can have masculine and feminine because the conscious mind is masculine and the subconscious mind is feminine. One is active and passive principles. The seat of the wheel is the masculine. Okay, the principle that brings things into manifestation is the feminine. You need both. And if you can't manifest things in your life and you have people like this talking, he's just a weakling. He has a weak will. And he sounds like a little gay dude. And you sitting there, yeah, this is so true. This ain't fucking true what you saying. I hope you're over here looking at my channel too, because these neophytes, you're out here teaching this bullshit. This masculine and feminine, just because you got money, they try to downplay money and getting women and shit like that. Listen, you're just a weakling, all right? You need to step your game up, retrain your mind how to think, understand how the subconscious mind works, understand how to attract things in your space. You may want to improve your vital energy by stop having sex, allowing your vital energy to increase itself, because that's the battery that does all of this. And stop with the bullshit, okay? Stop making excuses. You looking at somebody, well, that's really not masculinity, because really they put their value in their masculine frame and their possessions. That's not what it's all about, okay? That's not what masculinity is. People who are you think a dude who has $100 million cares about the things he has? When you start getting a lot of money, things don't mean shit. It don't mean shit. The car don't mean shit. You end up driving a $200,000 car, that don't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. Nobody's valuing that. It is the ability that you demonstrate to yourself that you can move energy like that and bring those things into your space that demonstrates that you're truly masculine, which is why women are very attracted to it. Anyway. I had to kind of stop on that because I got people watching my channel and making little statements. I had to put that out there. But we're going to get back on this, but the same thing applies to this. All right. One of the variables that people do not include in their processes is the way that you think. This is why when you read documents like creditors and their bonds or dealing with presentments, the very first portion of those documents are dedicated to thought. Okay, and understanding how vibrational frequencies work. It's no different than when my 15-year-old was all in with the conversation and you blew up the spot with the hard cursing. Well, then don't put your 15-year-old on here, all right? I'm sorry, your people who are talking about cursing, get the fuck off my channel. Just get the fuck off my channel. Get the fuck off my channel. I don't give a fuck. If you're a 15-year-old, let me tell you, when I was 15 years old, I was cussing like a sailor at school. And we come back home and try to act good. Everybody was in high school. You think you're in high school and they ain't heard cursing? Well, come on my channel with that bullshit trying to get your morality and put on it because it's just going to make me curse worse. You take your ass and get somewhere else. Don't be trying to say, my son was all in and everything. You start cursing, he was out. Would tell his ass to get the hell on because he's obviously not interested in bettering himself. Because I wasn't doing any cursing. If you want to get on, get the hell on. I'm not talking to you anyway. When I started my channel, I was talking to street cats. Because we already talking about the criminal justice system and things like that. So get out of my chat room talking about that shit. I don't like the language that you use. Like y'all not grown. Like y'all don't hear this shit every day. Like you don't sit and listen to Dave Chappelle or Eddie Murphy or Chris Rock. Man, get the fuck out of here. That stupid shit. Y'all kill me with that, man. This grown conversations over here. Let me tell you something. Y'all got plenty of people out here that will talk to you in a way that you want to be heard. It ain't working for you. Look at what y'all doing. Look at the state of the world today. When people are every day trying to talk to you, not using any epithets or anything like that, and you motherfuckers still ain't doing shit. And I cuss on every fucking broadcast. And you ought to know that if you come over here. Fuck out of here. I mean, a 15-year-old didn't like me cussing. What is he, gay? Oh, he's using terrible language. Oh, what neighborhood you from? I don't know about you, but my neighborhood, the hood I'm from, every 15-year-old, male or female, and y'all know I'm telling the truth, they all talk. They see what your children do is they come home. It's a thing. You can switch it off. You can't cuss around your parents. It's just like an automatic switch. You come around y'all know y'all grew up doing it, but then you get back out, switch back right on, everyday conversation with your homeboys and everything. You sitting here thinking, my 15-year-old, I didn't like the fact that you started I'm going to try to drag you. All right. You think you're going to shame me into something? I'm going to drag you. You need to quit with them shaming tactics. Them shaming tactics is a tool of the devil. Y'all try to be that self-righteous, shaming tactics. That's that shit them feminists use and all that shit. People who use that, those are manipulative tactics that people try to use. I want to hear that shit anyway. And I wasn't even saying any cuss words. I didn't even know what you was talking about. You done lit fire up under me. Let's get back to the document. Anyway, we were talking about what the system is. So we're on paragraph 2. It says, obviously, the extremely brief paper will make no attempt to prove anything stated herein. Everything stated within regarding the system will of necessity be simply asserted as fact, firmly established as irrefutable, yet facts that will probably contradict everything you thought you understood about the system. You will either have to face up to the fact that you have been deceived and lied to all your life about almost everything you think you know, or you remain a victim to the global financial prison that the entire world is now a part of, also referred to as the system. For those of you, the vast majority of humanity, who believe that such an evil global system of grand deception and enslavement cannot possibly exist, the mere suggestion of it sounding like the utterances of those conspiracy nuts, and usually dismissed as kooks, I suggest you immediately cease reading any further, since I have no intention of communicating with the hopelessly brain-dead masses on these matters. Let me talk about that real quick, because this is a very, very good section is talking about conspiracy theories. All right, because one of the things that we have to contend with on this channel, what we have to contend with on this channel is this a sovereign citizenship? Which when they say that, it's kind of like they're saying it's some conspiracy types things. And it's an insult because of the vast amount of research that's been conducted by extremely intelligent people over the last 30 or 40 years. Extremely intelligent people have investigated all of these things, and they just dismiss it as if you're a kook or something like that. when a lot of it should be obvious. Like, it should be obvious to you that there isn't any money. That should be obvious. It should be obvious. It should be obvious that there's something wrong with the court system. It should be, because when you sit here and think about it, okay, well, how can you go to jail for a victimless crime? How do you just start putting people in? How can another man tell another man what he can put in his body? I want you to think about that for a second. How can you tell me I can't take drugs? That's none of your goddamn business. Who did we allow to get into office or get into a situation, or how do we get ourselves in a situation where another human being or a group of men can tell another group of people they can't? Now, I can understand you could say, well, you cannot use Federal Reserve notes to conduct business in illegal activities such as selling. But how are you going to tell me something grows out of the ground is illegal? Like marijuana. How are you going to tell me that? Who are you? This is planet Earth. If the creator of the balanced universe created it, he created it for a reason. Okay, who are you to come and tell me I can't use it for whatever purpose I want to use it for? These are some of the things that you got to start. Who are you to tell me I can't curse? I know what the word fuck means. Do you know what the word fuck means? The word fuck is an acronym. It stands for fornication under carnal knowledge. It's something they used to put on tombstones when you were labeled as a fornicator. I know what it means. I know what ass means. I know what shit means. I know what all these words mean. I studied them, But who is the one that can tell you what's right and what's wrong? Who is the ultimate arbiter of what's right and what's wrong? What's right and what's wrong? You got other individuals telling you what's right and what's wrong. How do we not know? And I'm just playing devil's advocate right now. How do you not know that the devil is really God and the God in the Bible is really the devil? What if the Satanists are correct? What if they are? What if they right? What if they like, y'all the ones that's wrong? We can supposed to be able to do whatever we want to do. Y'all the ones living in a delusion. What if? I'm just saying. That is what freedom is all about. You can do anything you want as long as you do not trespass on somebody else's property or their property rights. As long as you don't get in anybody else's way, mind your business. Because everybody only has to answer to one authority, not you. And that's why it says in Matthew 7:1, judge not, lest ye be judged, because the judgment you mete out will be meted out to you. All you self-righteous people, okay, we can come and open your closet and see all them goddamn skeletons in there. We got somebody talking about our cuss. This might be a damn pedophile. But you don't like to use vulgar language. You might abuse your children. You might molest your children. I don't know. What do you do? I'm just saying. And let's keep going. Let's get back to the document. I had to kind of throw that out there. This is not a conspiracy theory. It goes against my nature to be simply making assertions that are not backed up with rigorous proof, but I am of necessity going to have to just move forward and assert the facts as irrefutable truth. If you demand the truth in life without compromise, you will eventually come to the same truth about the system. And what do I mean by the system? The system consists of all institutions that man has created to organize, control, sustain itself, in particular government, religion, and commerce. There are no sharp demarcations between these three institutional entities, and in fact, are so hopelessly intertwined that I will refer to them as the system. The foundational facts to understand. So let's look at some of the facts that you need to understand about this system. Fact number one, the system in today's world on a global widespread basis is now completely dominated and controlled by the forces of darkness, namely Satan, Lucifer, the devil. This is not some mystical, superstitious ravings. The dark forces are absolutely for real, are extremely ingenious in the science of controlling the people's thinking, and control all governments of men and the vast overwhelming majority of all religions, and in particular, all of so-called Christendom, not true Christianity, represented by the harlot upon the beast in Revelation scripture. And for our analysis, the most important realization is that the dark forces totally control all the financial/economic systems, in particular banking, the principal control lever point of the commerce game, and the resulting enslavement of all mankind. There is an ample, if not massive, confirmation that one indeed seems to be now approaching the final battle of righteousness over Satan's pure evil. Now let me stop here and talk about that. This right here was very important. You know, I'm not really a religious person, but I consider myself to be spiritual. The reason I'm not religious, because I've thoroughly studied all of the religions, and they're man-made, and a lot of the things that people like to espouse is just not true. They either don't have a thorough understanding of their own religion or the mechanics of nature or God or anything, the history of things or anything like that. However, that's not to say that there's not a creator of the boundless universe, that there are not spiritual laws, that there is not a polarity in the universe that we have to pay attention to. I'm not saying any of those things, but I'm gonna tell you this: what you know, this paradigm of angels and demons, of these dark forces and the forces of light. I used to kind of question that. You know, I was like, because, you know, you didn't see any empirical evidence of it. However, when I got into this, a lot of the things that were spoken about in the Bible started to come alive to me. And it made me take a second look at it. Okay, in particular, the book of Revelations. I began to understand this is what I perceive. This is what I think the ultimate thing is. First of all, there's a free will universe. Nobody can make you do anything. All right, you got to understand that. You cannot be made to do anything. All right, if you could be made to do anything, then there would be no need for a judgment day, because you could go before God and just tell him right there when he's judging you, the devil made me do it. One excuse you cannot use is the devil made me do it. However, the devil is a liar. He can deceive. He can influence. He can persuade. He has a lot of tools in his arsenal, okay? Once you begin to understand, read some of the stories in the Bible, like the story of Job, where God is having a discussion with the devil, and Job is saying, well, you know, the only reason Job worships you because you put a hedge around everything, and you give him everything he wants. He said, okay, well, go ahead and take, you can do everything you want to him, but just don't kill him. Okay, and then in the Quran, when we get the story about Iblis, when, they were asked the Narin Samoon, you have the cherubim angels who are from the Narin Samoon, the smokeless fire, and then, and they were told to bow down before Adam, and he refused to do so because he said, I'm greater than he is. This man is a man of clay, and I'm a thing of fire, and I'm greater than he is. And he said, I'm going to show you he's not worthy. When you really study these stories, and then you kind of look at this right here, this information, you began to see, I think it's something to those stories, because you begin to see like what they're doing right now is they're trying to get y'all to become heathens. They're trying to get you to renounce the belief in a God. They're trying to get you to have sex that is unnatural. They're trying to get you to, kill your babies. They're doing things, and they're making it seem like it's a matter of course, that there's no big deal about it. And then a lot of people are becoming susceptible to it, and they're just participating in it. Their morality has been brought into question. And so these are things that, you begin to look in these books and you're like, I wonder if there is some sort of devil that's out to prove that man is not worthy. Is he out to prove that, watch what we do to them? Watch how we do to them. Watch how easily we can control their minds. Watch how easily that they will cast off God, okay, and do whatever we. Watch how easily these people will make us their God. Okay, you told them that they can use the herbs of the field for their healing. They'll come to us. We got pharmaceuticals, which is sorcery and witchcraft. They will come to us. They won't come to you. Everything, watch God, watch what I'm saying. Everything that you gave them, they will cast it aside and they will only take what they'll go into the grocery store and they will eat the food, the processed food that we make in our laboratories, and they will spit out the fruits and vegetables, and it'll be something detestable to them. Pay attention. Is that not happening? Everything around you, do you want something man-made? You know, you don't want anything that is coming from the creator of the boundless universe. Doesn't it seem like anything that's natural, they're warring against? And if they're warring against nature, couldn't we conclude that they're warring against God? That there's some sort of battle of light and dark that is going on? I'm just saying. I'm not trying to. Sorry about that. All right, I'm sorry about that. I think my connection went bad. Anyway, I'm back. And my connection went bad for a second. I'm back. So what we got? Okay. So let's get back on this real quick. I kind of want to bring y'all attention. There's some sort of war that's going on. Some type of war going on. I don't know. I've heard, you've heard people say this and talk about this. Something to just think about. Anyway, fact number 2, probably as much as a little over 80% of Americans people still believe that man's problems can be solved by political action, voting, have an informed opinion on political matters. They accept what they hear on the media and believe the authority can be trusted. Less than 10% of this group will ever realize how profoundly deceived they have been. And that's another thing. It's just amazing to me how many people believe the news. I mean, it's the most incredible. It is the most incredible thing to watch people just believe whatever they tell them on the news. And that they think, even though every 4 years they vote, like black people have voted Democrat, Democrats ain't never did nothing for them. They just keep on voting for them over and over and over again. And they'll do it. All the Democrats have to say Trump is racist. And they just get in their emotions, forget the fact that he funded HBCUs, forget everything that he put something in the prison system that allow prisoners to get out of jail and everything. Forget all the things that he's doing to help us. That nigga's racist. Don't vote for him. That's all they got to do. That's all they got to do. And be mad at you because you won't roll with them. Like, man, that don't make no fucking sense what you're saying. Be dead ass serious about it. But they believe in it. They think they vote is going to change something. Let's get back in this. Fact number 3. The world and all its resources, its most important being human slave resources, are in fact controlled by extremely wealthy and powerful families whose ingenious extortion strategies have become the foundation of the world economy, global economic slavery. Through the creation of fictional indebtedness by imposition of centralized banking to ultimately deprive the people of all property and freedom. This is another one. And this is something else I want to talk about too. Have you ever noticed that how our families are being destroyed? But if you'll notice with the elite, they don't let their families get destroyed. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that the higher up the ladder you go, their family's intact? And the lower down the ladder you go, the families are getting disintegrated. You know, and here's another thing that I read. I read in, what was this? What was that I was reading? Where they were discussing, it was in Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. And there was some good documents in there. And it was Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. And it was basically the ultimate goal, and you'll see this in the movies as well, that the ultimate goal of the New World Order is to destroy families because the children are going to be the property of the state. So, and I see it, and what's incredible, in the 90s, we were reading this, and in 2022, I'm seeing how they're actually really doing it, and how they're doing it, that they've weaponized the feminist movement, and getting women to have this idea that they need to be strong and independent and have their own thing. And you have you have the families being broken up. And so, and even with children, it doesn't even matter if you have children. And you see, the higher you go up the ladder, you don't see that happening. You don't see like the Rockefellers. They're not going to destroy their family. The Rothschilds, the Warburgs, the people on the credit bureaus, the Vanderbilts, all these different high-level families, they understand the importance of family. Let me throw this out here too. I want people to start thinking like this. One of the tools they use to keep their family together are family trust and money. Because if you put a family trust together, and let's say you have a family of 20 people. Let's say that I'm the patriarch of my family, and my wife is the matriarch, and we want to build our legacy. So I have children. I have 5 children. Okay, let's say I have 8 children. I have 4 girls and 4 young men. All right, and I got the directive. I say, okay, I'm trying to build my empire. I'm trying to do like Abraham. I'm trying to be the father of many nations. All right, so I'm going to establish some sort of covenant with my children in the form of a trust. And I'm going to tell them, I'm going to say, look, we have $100 million in the family trust. This family trust is going to provide a very comfortable lifestyle for all of you. But it's going to be conditioned on the fact that, first of all, that you all get married and you never get a divorce. Anyone who gets a divorce will be eliminated from the family trust. Your bills will no longer get paid. Those cars that you drive, you will no longer be able to drive them. As a matter of fact, you'll be asked to leave any properties that you're living in. Those $3 million mansions that you're living in, you will no longer be allowed to live in those anymore. Additionally, okay, you are all going to be required to get certain types of education, okay? In order for this family to function, okay, we're going to need bankers, we're going to need lawyers, we're going to need physicians, okay? So that's going to be a requirement. Additionally, that you go to college and you get a degree that I want you to become an attorney, I want you to become a physician, I want you to become an accountant, I want you to do these things right here. And when you get married, you're going to be required to marry these type of individuals, all right? You cannot go and marry this bum down the street or this whore or everything like this. You're going to marry a certain type of individual, okay? Because we're establishing a family legacy. Do you think that will work? You think that'll work? You don't think it will work? Yes, it will work because it's working, because that's exactly what they do. Might not work for you, but it works. But it'll work for a person who's never been introduced. The story of Adam and Eve and being in the garden was that they were not being introduced to certain things. They were being kept pure. A child is not going to miss anything that it's never had. Just like a virgin, a lot of people, you hear women say, well, you need to have sex with a lot of different men so good sex. A woman that hasn't had sex with a lot of different men, she's going to be perfectly fine, because you can't miss what you've never experienced. So the sex that she is having is good sex, okay? And why is everything predicated on sex? That's a very animalistic tendency. Anybody who thinks like that is not going to have a successful relationship either. Everything is involved with that. Yeah, the vast majority of people were conceived through lust instead of love. That's absolutely correct. But I don't know. It's love is not. Love is not. I don't think a necessary component for legacy. I think it'd be nice to have, but I don't think it's. I think that people. I think people have. I think people have misunderstood the purpose of family and legacy and things. I like Kevin Samuels. Some of the things Kevin Samuels said. He said there are families where a husband and wives are married. And if the wife wants to have a side man, that's perfectly fine, as long as it's okay with the husband have a side woman. But they're going to stay together to keep the family intact. They understand that their family is their business. I think that's the difference in the truly elite and the average person, walking on the street. But let's get back. I know y'all probably don't like some of these things I'm saying, but I want you to think about it. Think about what I'm saying. Number 4, secret societies such as Illuminati, the Luciferians, Freemasonry, 33 level and above, and others are keepers of arcane knowledge that guarantees the keeping of ordinary people in political, economic, and spiritual bondage. Major breakthroughs in the sciences such as physics, medicine, engineering, etc. have long been consistently suppressed by these groups for purposes of maintaining plunder and control of the unthinking masses. I remember when I found the instructions for, making a car that'll run off water. That's real, because hydrogen is a reciprocal of fire, hydrogen and helium, H1 and H2. And, while you have a hydrogen bomb, you can make an automobile run off of water. Nobody's going to make any money off of that. But also these secret societies, what is this arcane knowledge that they're keeping from everyone? What is the secret knowledge? You know what I found out in my studies? I found out that the truth is always simple. It is my belief at the level of knowledge that I have right now that the major secret that they want to keep from everyone is the fact that the human mind is a transmitter, that it transmits vibrational frequencies out into the universe and they come back in like kind. And the reason that you see 2%, and this is why they keep perpetuating to you this victim mentality. The victim mentality is a deception because it's going to keep you away from the truth. The truth is that you are the one that's responsible for your condition, that everybody has the same capability and the same potential, that the mind transmits vibrational frequencies into the universe and they come back in like kind. This is the law of attraction. And they don't ever want you to know that. They don't care what you do. Your religion, as long as you think that God is in the sky, as long as you believe that you're a victim, that other people can oppress you, as long as you think that there's some invisible devil that has some sort of authority over you, that's evil and he's crushing you or something like that, you can think whatever you want as long as you don't look internally, as long as you don't come into a realization that you are the God. That's why I'm constantly saying it to the chagrin of all you Bible thumpers and people who never even open up the book and read it, because you ain't read Genesis 3:22. You ain't read Psalms 82:6. You ain't read John 10:34. And then when you read it, you try to make an explanation for it, because right there, that man is telling you he's telling you, the Messiah is telling you that you the God. The things I can do, you can do too. That you done totally lost the reason that Jesus came. Jesus came to be an example of you, to show you that, hey, you see these things I do, you can do the same thing. But you took that and threw it to the side and got on your knees and started worshiping Jesus. Worshiping. Some of you even turned Jesus into God. Makes no sense. He's the Son of God, but he's God too. Don't make no fucking sense. You know it don't make sense. These people be Bible. This is another reason why a lot of y'all women ain't even supposed to be in front of in the pulpit teaching, because a lot of y'all are the ones that perpetuate that ridiculousness. It's out of ignorance. Worshiping Jesus. Jesus. Not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, who will enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father. Let me read this to you. Let me read this to you. This is for all you Bible thumpers out here and all you self-righteous people. What is it? Matthew 7:21. What is it right here? What does it say? Matthew 7:21. Not everyone who calls out to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven. Only those who actually do the will of my Father in heaven will enter. Now, how can Jesus make a statement like that and y'all turn around and call Jesus God and be worshiping Jesus? This is the type of buffoonery. This is the type of stupidity and ignorance that we have to contend with in religion, while a lot of people are leaving the church, all right, because you are not scholars of the religion. You are foisting on people beliefs that have no foundation in nothing, not in the laws of nature, not in these books that have constantly changing and being things put it in and taken out, not in nothing. It don't make any sense. You made Jesus God, and then they put him on the cross. Matthew 27:46. Eli, Eli, lema sabachthani. My God, why have you forsaken me? You got God on the damn cross asking another God why you left me? And I don't even want to get into Psalms 22:1, where it was plagiarized from. You are the God. Peace to the gods. Peace to the elves. Peace to the gods. You the God. Some of y'all won't like that. Let's get back. All right, let's get back. It says, the original de jure Republican form of government given to us by our founding fathers, referred to as the United States of America, notice how he wrote that, has been replaced by stealth and deception with a private, foreign-owned and operated for-profit, actually plunder, de facto corporate democracy, not a republic, in actuality a municipal corporation of the District of Columbia or the United States being incorporated in England, our former enemy. Oh, let me go over here to SBC University real quick. We got some things. He said something right there. He said, where I got it at? Where is it at? This military let me see if I did this military manual on, I got it right here. This is on SPC. Yeah, let me get democracy military manual. Let me see if I Google it right in front of y'all. Democracy military so if I can pull it up. It's a military training manual. This is it right here. This is it right here. I'm put it in the chat for you. We're going to go to page 91. Yep, this is it right here. Let's go to page 91 real quick. Okay, so right here, we can see the three forms of government. This is a military manual. All you Democrats out there, we got three forms of government. Comparative analysis. The following comparative analysis shows the principal characteristics of the three forms of government. Autocracy. Authority is derived through heredity. People have no choice in the selection of their rulers and no voice in making of the laws. Results in arbitrariness, tyranny, and oppression. Attitude toward property is feudalistic. Attitude toward laws that the will of the ruler shall control, regardless of reason or consequences. Obviously, we're talking about like a monarch or something like that. Or when families who have power remain in power, it's passed down through blood. And then we have the all democracy that they just keep pumping. Y'all think democracy is a synonym for freedom, don't you? We are protecting our democracy. And you know, they say the American people are so goddamn stupid. It says this word is not even in the Constitution for the United States of America. You were not guaranteed a democracy. You were guaranteed a Republican form of government. What the fuck is wrong with you? And let's hear and look at this democracy. A government of the masses, authority derived through mass meeting or any other form of direct expression, results in mobocracy. Attitude toward property is communistic. Isn't that funny that 85%, like communism started by Jews, 85% of Jews are Democrats. They have persuaded the black people to come on board with them. And now you're seeing all this Marxist, communist, liberal type of people in that particular party. Because the Democratic Party has always been the party of communists. I didn't know that. I didn't know when I was growing up there. You know, I thought, Democrat, the Republicans are the rich people. The Democrats, they for the poor people. And they are, because what they say is, y'all being oppressed. The proletariat is being oppressed by the elite. The bourgeoisie is oppressing you people. Y'all weak and fallible, and y'all can't help yourselves. The same thing they did in 1933 with the Great Depression. You need us to protect you. You can't depend on God. What do you mean that you have some sort of power where you can manifest things for yourself? You're not capable of doing that. You need some protection. Matter of fact, when we do this, we're just going to make all of you equal. We want all you to dress the same, think the same, and, watch what you say. You don't need to talk. We got to protect people's feelings. Don't curse. My 15-year-old child is listening. Results in mobocracy. Attitude toward property is communistic, negating property rights. Attitude toward laws that the will of the majority shall regulate, whether it be based on deliberation or governed by passion, prejudice, and impulse without restraint or regard to consequences. Results in demagogism, license, agitation, discontent, anarchy. Let's look at a republic. Authority is derived through the election of the people of public officials best fitted to represent them. Attitude toward property is respect for laws and individual rights and a sensible economic procedure. Attitude toward law is the administration of justice in accord with fixed principles and established evidence with a strict regard to consequences. A greater number of citizens and extent of the territory may be brought within its compass. Avoids the dangerous and extreme of either tyranny or mobocracy. Tyranny is monarchism, the king, and mobocracy is democracy. Mob rule. Results in statesmanship, liberty, reason, justice, contentment, and progress. Is the standard form of government throughout the world. China is a republic, the Republic of China. Somehow they became communists. Russia, United Soviet Socialist Republic. They were a republic. Somehow they became the Soviet Union, which was, you know who did that? The Jews. All right. They became communists. United States of America, y'all next. You don't believe me? Let's look at this real quick. This is Communist Manifesto. Well, how many of y'all read that? The Communist Manifesto. How many of y'all read it? Anybody read it? These people hate. See right here, they're talking about the origin of family private property in the state, second edition. They hate private. This word private is the word that they hate. They hate it. Modern industry has converted the little workshop of the patriarchal master. Notice they use that word patriarch. The patriarchal master. This is where all they feminists and everything getting their ideas. They communists. I'm trying to tell y'all. Modern industry has converted the little workshop, the patriarchal master, into the great them girls who leaders of the Black Lives Matter. They came out straight up and told you they were Marxists. They said we studied it. We are very studied Marxists. That's why they use that. The patriarch is the one that's responsible. And what is really interesting is that the people who run in the world are the Jews. This is Karl Marx. He's a Jew. And he's trying to sit here and program all of y'all talking about the patriarch. But the people who are the patriarch, 70% of them are the wealthiest people on the planet Earth are Jewish. Men. It's just idiotic. It's stupidity at its finest. It's stupidity. It's stupidity. Hey, y'all hit them. I got that button now. You know, I got that button on my chat now, that $sign. Why don't y'all test it out? Test it out real quick. Give me $5. There's 467 people on here. Give me $5. I gave somebody $20 today driving by at the light. Gave man $20. It's Christmas time. Hit me with a $5. Well-trained Marxists. That's exactly what they said. They say modern industry has converted the little workshop of the patriarchal master into the great factory of the industrial capitalists. Masses of laborers crowded in. Okay, well, who is the people controlling all this? The people in control of the monetary system are Jewish. All right? The central banking is all Jewish. What are you talking about? This is a Jew sitting here telling you this, and they're the ones that's in control of the financial system. Do you see the stupidity of this? Do you see how these people think you stupid? Modern industry has converted the little workshop of the patriarchal master into the great factory of the industrial capitalists. Masses of laborers crowded into the factory are organized like soldiers. As privates of the industrial army, they are placed under the command of a perfect hierarchy of officers and sergeants. He's talking about laborers and everything. Okay. As if they didn't have a choice. Here it is right here. The distinguishing feature of communism is not the abolition of property generally, but the abolition of bourgeois property. But modern bourgeois private property is the final and most complete expression of the system of producing and appropriating products that is based on class antagonisms, on the exploitation of the many by the few. Well, who are these few? Y'all know this guy, Karl Marx, he was trained with these people. They are sitting here giving you, I hope all you Black Lives, if you Black Lives Matter women is listening, let me tell you something, how stupid you are, all right? Not only the fact you feminists and you hate me, I know you hate men, you're gonna hate a man telling you something, but we have to, because I know you deem yourself as intelligent and you're not, all right? First of all, you need to understand natural laws. The reason communism has never worked, because it goes against the natural law principle. You can't make everybody the same. See, that's a fallacy to think that all people are created equal. It's a fallacy also to think that, that women are superior to men, or that our men and women are equal. We're different. We're not the same. No, and men are not the same. All people are created with the same potential. You have the opportunity, but you have the right of opportunity. You do not have the right of equal opportunity of outcome. That is what y'all trying to foist on people. You're trying to make everybody have the same outcome. That is unnatural. It goes against the creator of the boundless universe. It will never work. And it's going to send you straight to hell. That's on the pathway that you're on. It's not going to work. It never has worked. And it won't, because it goes against natural law. And that is why they're attempting to program each one of you, because they think if they can program your thinking, they can get it to work. That's the experiment that's going on right now, to see if we can program your thinking. So right here, you can see this is the Communist Manifesto. All right. So let's go on. It says right here, it says, in this sense, the theory of communism may be summed up in a single sentence: the abolition of private property. Communism can be summed up in a single sentence: the abolition of private property. That is what it is. The Constitution for the United States of America protects private property. These people, let me show you something else. Y'all think I'm just over here just talking. There's these people that think did you come, if you're new to this channel, you think come over and say, who is this loud mouth black man on here cussing and raising hell? Okay. What is this right here? This is the Pew Research Center. U.S. Jews' political views. Pew Research Center surveys, including the 2020 study, shows that Jews are among the most consistently liberal and democratic groups in U.S. population. 7 in 10 Jewish adults identify with or lean toward the Democratic Party, and half describe their political views as liberal. Okay, so we can't call me like trying to say I'm racist or anything like this, because I'm making statements that are factual. Okay. This is very important for you to understand somebody's political ideology, and now you begin to understand why everybody's trying to be swayed toward the Democratic Party. Now, there's another, and in particular, black people, because black people are just used as tools. It's just like, you know, the Black Lives Matter girls, they wasn't nothing but dogs on a damn chain. Get them, boy. Get them. Get them. That's all that was. I call them lap dogs. Lap dogs. Sick them. Sick them. Sick them. We need you over there to create some, you know, go over there and create some, you know, some upheaval. So right here, you see, let me read it again. Pew Research Center surveys, including the 2020 study, show that Jews are among the most consistently liberal and democratic groups in the U.S. population. Okay, when you read Adolf Hitler's Mein Kampf, he gets into some discussion about this particular point right here. I'm trying to give y'all real information. See, because how they're preventing you from getting to the real information is when you try to tell you something, they start labeling you things. They start labeling you shit. You know, oh, you're racist. Oh, you're doing mansplaining, or you're anti-Semitic, or something, that you start getting labeled shit, as if people have some sort of like, I don't have no dog in this fight. I don't have no dog in this fight. I got no dog in this fight. I'm a representative of the truth. That's all I am. The outcome has nothing to do with me. I'm just a representative. I wasn't even looking for this. I stumbled upon all this information because of studying Secure Party and being a private property advocate. I wasn't looking for this. But then I started researching. I said, okay, well, who is the people who coined this phrase sovereign citizen? What is that? The Southern Poverty Center. I researched them. Damn, they were started by Jews. And I started researching all of these people attacking us, calling us sovereign citizens, and was it a coincidence that most of them were Jewish organizations? And now I begin to understand why, because if you are a communist, okay, then obviously you're going to try to demonize anything that has to do with anybody who is an advocate for private property protections in the U.S. Constitution, because you're trying to fundamentally change the nation from a republic into a democracy into a communist state. Chuck Schumer, who's the head of the Democratic Party right now? Go do your research. Go back and watch Jim Acosta, who was interviewing Donald Trump. Everybody at CNN. Now that you got this information, go back and replay your game with your added knowledge, with a different lens. You see Kayleigh McKinney, she's at the podium. She got on her cross. Oh, Merrick Garland, Barack Obama nominated him. They blocked it, put in 2 Christians. Y'all don't think it had nothing to do with that, huh? Y'all don't think it had nothing to do with that. Dianne Feinstein, when they were doing the confirmation hearings for what was the female judge, and they start questioning her about her religious beliefs. Go back and watch that now. Go back with this information now and go and watch the confirmation hearing of that judge. What's her name? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Go back and watch it. I'm not saying nothing you can't verify. You were just watching it with a blind fucking eye. Your freedom comes through privacy. If you don't want to be free, then you're going to let them take private property. Now, if I'm saying this, and here's another thing. Here's another thing. Here's another thing. They telling you already that you will own nothing and you will be happy. You'll love it. They're already programming you. Y'all already programming you. Where we at on the likes? It's only 330 likes. Let's get the likes up to 400. Let's get the likes up to 400. Let's try to get them up to 400. Let's get the likes up to 400. Thank you. Thank you, Scott Daniel. Thank you, Brandon Scott. Thank you, Yellow Hammer. Thank you, Focus with Raja. I appreciate it. Thank you, Naturally Raw Nomad. Thank you, Easygoing Dude. Thank you, Fred. I can't pronounce that, bro. Rasta King E. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Who is this? Dayut Amin Ra. Okay, I don't know if I pronounced that right. Thank you, bro. Thank you, 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 people. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate everything you're doing. Hit the like button. Hit the dollar sign. Also, let's keep going. I have to lay a groundwork, and I really could go deeper than this. The only reason I don't go real deep because I don't want them saying, oh, this dude over here, he's anti-Semitic and start labeling me and shit like that. And it's like, no, I just want y'all to start looking at this from a different lens. Start understanding what is at stake. Why do they keep on pumping democracy? Well, Jews own all of the media channels. That's why they keep telling y'all, oh, this is our democracy. It's a threat to our democracy. It's a threat to our democracy. Look at this right here. Let me show y'all something. Y'all seen this right here? Kanye West showed you too. Kanye West showed you too. If I can get it on here. Okay, and they try to say, oh, this is some conspiracy theory. Right here you can see, if y'all ever see this, you see NBC, look at them, almost all Jewish. CBS News, almost all Jewish. CNN, all Jewish. Y'all don't know that. The reason that you don't know this is because you think white people and Jewish people are the same. Now, this is not nothing against Jewish people because I'm really talking about Zionists right now, but Zionists just happen to be Jewish, okay? Now, is this anti-Semitic for me to point this out? This is what people are saying. They're saying like with Kanye West, I keep saying, well, he's making anti-Semitic statements. All Kanye West said is, damn, y'all are running the music industry. Y'all are giving contracts to people that aren't fair. Let's evaluate this and let's examine this. And they just started, and same thing with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, all he did was, he just pointed out a movie. And they tracked that man down and ran him down for that. They doing it to a lot of different people. And people are trying to, and a lot of people can't say this because they're in control of everything. Thank you, Harut. I'll get your SBC login working, okay? But these are the things that, I'm just like saying. So when we're looking at, when you got to understand, you got to be able to identify things, okay? When we're sitting here talking about this document, the nature of the remedy, even with the secure party, I'm even going to say this. I was told that the secure party process was created for Jewish people. It was not created for the rest of us. They are the ones that were in control of the financial state system. Now, if you remember, what is the guy's name who was the assistant to Woodrow Wilson. And he said that the people who understand the system are going to love it. The people who hate the system are going to hate it. Who don't understand it are going to hate it. And they were talking about, how they're going to, be collateralizing us and things of this nature. And everything I'm showing you, even Leviticus 25:45, where it talks about they can put heathens in slavery. You start looking at all this and it's like, well, wow, they're changing everybody into heathens. A heathen is a person that doesn't believe in God. All right, so they're changing everybody into heathens. And it says right in Leviticus 25:45, right here. Let's look at it. Leviticus. When we look at this, all right, we can see right here, we go down here. It says, moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them you shall buy, and of their families that are with you, which they beget in your land, and they shall be your possession. And you shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, you shall not rule over one another with rigor. And if a sojourner or a stranger wax rich, and it goes on like that. Right here he says, number 44, both the bondmen and the bondmaids which thou shalt have shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall you buy bondmen and bondmaids. Okay, it's right. This is Leviticus. This is 613 laws. This is what they follow. Do you not see that happening? Are these not bondmen and bond? Bond means you owe something. You're under a bond. Like when you was watching 12 Years a Slave, and he sold him to the next plantation. He said, I already sold your bond to the next plantation. Bond is evidence of a debt that you owe, like an indentured servant. And we know in the Bible it tells you that the debtor is enslaved to the creditor. What is it you're not getting? I'm not understanding. What am I not you're not connecting no dots yet? Ain't no dots connecting yet? You're not connecting the dots? This ain't making sense to you? Let me give you another. Right here. You can get this off of Amazon. How communist Jews weaponize blacks. This is a guy who actually did the research on it. His name is Dontel Jackson. He did the research on it. He said blacks have been purposely misled by the Jewish people who in previous centuries built their fortunes in the transatlantic slave trade and who continue to manipulate and exploit us even today. Because most black people make no distinction between Jews and whites, it is easy for Jews to evade justice and escape the blame for the wrongs that they have inflicted on our people for centuries by convincing blacks that it was the white man who did it. Am I talking like, a lot of people like, you talking about the, what they call it, the occupier, the colonizer. That's the new shit they saying. He sounds like he's programmed by, no, your ass sound like you call it, if you're a feminist and you're a black person, you've been programmed by the colonizer. You ain't got shit to say to me. I don't care what name you call me. You've been programmed by the colonizer. He gonna even say it in here. Where he say it? He talk about feminism. You talk about it. It's real interesting. Behind every single black rights organization, the Jews have been pulling the strings, from the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the Leadership Conference on Civil Rights, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and the Student Nonviolent Coordination Committee. Jews such as Joel Spingarn, Lillian Wald, Rabbi Emil J. Hirsch, Stephen Weiss, Henry Mokovitz in 1909, together with black leaders such as W. E. Du Bois, to form the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. 1 year later, other prominent Jewish and black leaders created the Urban League. Jews were made substantial financial contributions to many civil rights organizations, including the NAACP, the Urban League, the Congress of Racial Equality, and the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. Kivi Kaplan, a vice chairman of the Union of American Hebrew Congregations, now the Union for the Reform of Judaism, served as a national president of the NAACP from 1966 to 1975. Arnie Aronson worked with A. Philip Randolph and Roy Wilkins to found the LCCR. From 1910 to 1940, over 2,000 primary and secondary schools and 20 black colleges, including Howard, Dillard, Fisk universities, were erected in whole or in part by contributions from Jewish philanthropist Julius Rosenwald. At the height of the so-called Rosenwald schools, nearly 40% of Southern blacks were educated at one of these institutions. And this guy right here, y'all go and check him out. His name is Israel Cohen. We must realize that our party's most powerful weapon is racial tension, but propounding into the consciousness of the dark races that for centuries they have been oppressed by whites, we can mold them to the program of the Communist Party. In America, we will aim for subtle victory. While inflaming the Negro minority against the whites, we will endeavor to instill in the whites a guilt complex for their exploitation of the Negroes. We will aid the Negroes to rise in prominence in every walk of life, in the professions, and in the world of sports and entertainment with the prestige. With this prestige, the Negro will be able to intermarry with the whites and begin the process which will deliver America to our cause. And that is also another thing that was attempted to be done, was the integration. That's why you're seeing all in the movies right now and all the commercials. Every commercial you see right now is a white man or a black woman or a white woman or a black man or something like that, because they're trying to put into your psyche. Now, let me say something to all the black people. This ain't nothing against the black people, because, and this should be an insult to black people. Should be an insult to black people, because they ain't worried about you, black man and black woman. You is not a concern at all. They deem their biggest threat is white people. You're not a threat. You're not a threat to them at all. You're not a threat. You are entertainment. You're entertainment. You're entertainment. You're not no threat. It's the white people that's the threat. You understand what I'm saying? That's insulting to me. I'm not a threat. I'm not a threat. No. That's why the Rabbi Finkelstein audio hit me so hard when he said that. He asked, what about the blacks? He said they make good barbecue. He said came here 70 times. He said 75,000 years ago they came here. He said, but they make good barbecue. They dance good, but they entertainment. You play basketball. You sing. You dance. That's why they don't like Bill Cosby. Remember when Bill Cosby did the video? Let me show you the video that Bill Cosby did. They don't like Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, the reason they're trying to demonize Bill Cosby, because he tried to put images of black people good, because he did the video showing for the last 100 years how they've been showing us in Hollywood. Step and Fetch It, all these black exploitation shows that's been put out. Who you think greenlighted all of that? Huh? Oh, colonizer. It was the colonizer. Dumb nigga. Dumb nigga. He's a dumb nigga. He's sitting up there saying that shit. Hey, truth is hard. I might get cut off for this. I don't know. I don't know if you can handle the truth. I got to tell you the truth. Bill Cosby Where is this video? Did they take it off? They take it out and take it down. It's a black and white. Here it is right here. Right here. Y'all watch this right here? Y'all watch this right here? Going back showing how they treating us and everything in the movies. All this, they hate Bill Cosby for this. Stitch and Fetch It. This is Hollywood. This is how we've been looked at in Hollywood. They making us put on dresses. All right. That's them. They're trying to reprogram the children right there. And Bill Cosby, he authored this right here. Y'all remember this? Y'all ain't see this, did you? You ain't see this. But you want to talk about the colonizer. It was the colonizer. Yusef, you sound like you promoting the colonizer. Nigga, I'm the biggest Nat Turner that you gonna fucking find. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Did you watch this? Did you watch this? Did you watch this Step and Fetch It? You want to go back and look at the last 100 years of how we've been depicted in Hollywood, and then these people claim that they're your friend, they got your interest, and they funded something called George Soros is funding Black Lives Matter, and it's supposed to be for our betterment. And you see that all that wasn't nothing but chaos and anarchy right there. by 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 gay women who don't like blacks, by the way, black man. Y'all sitting here supporting Black Lives Matter. Right there on their website, they were sitting there telling you they don't like black people. Got a sister that did the research on it and exposed it. It's on my BitChute if you need to see it. Because I don't want you to think some sort of man is telling you this. We got some sisters out here who's doing some research. They'll explain it to you. But you over there supporting it. You know why? Because you don't know shit. You's a dumb nigga. There you go. There you go. There you go. That's what they think of you. That's what they think of you right there. Go back and watch it now. Go back and watch it. So this man, now you begin to understand why he came up with It's a Different World in the Cosby Show. And one of the other things is, before these people die, they always have to discredit them. They ain't finna let nobody die with a clean slate, with a clean record. They had to some kind of way defame everybody. Michael Jordan, they're going to get you too. They're going to get a lot of them. Something's going to happen. They're going to get you. All right? Right here, look at this. Step and fetch it. Look at this. Look at this. They keep coming out with slave movies every time. Why they don't want to come out with a movie showing us in Egypt how we ruled and everything? Why don't they do that? Why you keep wanting to impressing on the minds of our young people that, you know, oh, yeah, y'all ain't did nothing significant in history. Y'all never was slaves. This is all that was in Hollywood. That's why Bill Cosby was doing what he was doing. And they mad about it. Because he said, look, this is how we've been depicted in Hollywood. We need some different type of depictions. We need to show us in a family, a cohesive family union where the father is a physician and the mother is an attorney, and they send their children to college, and then we're going to show college life for black people where they can go off and they can have successful lives. We ain't got to just always play basketball. It's only 300, it's only about 400 people can make it to the NBA. You know how many niggas want to play basketball? It's only 24 hours in a day. They have a playlist for the radio stations. You know how many people can actually make it in the music business? I've been listening to goddamn Drake 15 years. Ain't it time for somebody else to take his place? You do know that Drake is Jewish, right? It could be a coincidence. It could be a coincidence. It could be a coincidence. And it's not to say nothing wrong, because the Beastie Boys, they were Jewish. They were great. They were fantastic. They've done a lot of great things. I'm not trying to discount their contributions or anything like that, but we have to understand that they are in control. And it's not racist to say that. I'm not saying to say that they evil people, but you need to understand who's in control. Like Voltaire said, you know, if you want to see who is in control of you or who your master is, just look to the person you can't criticize. That's all. This is only just 10% of what I got. I could go 90% in. I could go real deep into what happened in Germany in World War I and World War II. There's a lot of different things we could discuss that is impacting, that you need to understand so you can understand the state of affairs that's going on right now. Nothing new is under the sun. And if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it. You need to go into the Bolshevik Revolution, what happened in Russia, to see what happened. You need to go and read the Balfour Declaration and understand how they became to occupy Israel and Palestine. You need to go and start understanding all of these things, man. Who is the central bank? Who is Paul Warburg? Why did he make a statement that the gold is wasting away in the pockets of the citizens? And the next thing you know, they then took the gold away from us. And you don't have access to private transactions anymore. Everything that you do is taxed now. Why is it when Ronald Reagan made that report and told you that 100% of your taxes goes to pay the national debt and it's all going over to Israel, he got shot later? Why is it when Kennedy tried to take us and put us on a silver standard, he got shot too? Why is it that every president that tried to get rid of a central bank, Andrew Jackson was the last one who was successful, attempted to kill his ass? Do you know that there was only one person in history that got a central bank out of their country? No, not one. It was Andrew Jackson and one other. You know the other person? Adolf Hitler. Boy, that just hurt me even say that, his name. They got y'all so programmed just to say his name. You know, they can't just to say his name. It's like, did you just say Adolf Hitler? Yes, he got rid of the central bank and German. Let's look at this. Time magazine is a Jewish publication. Let's look at what they thought about Adolf Hitler. Let's look at the history. Let's look at this. Because I don't want to say it. I put in man of the year. All I did was put in man of the year up here. I just put in man of the year Hitler. Time magazine came up. And you can see all these different man of the year. Now, when you go and study Hitler, you will find out what the real reason why they mad at this man. There's a real reason why they mad at this man. And the reason don't have nothing to do with what they talking about. It's all economic. It's all had to do with money, okay? All this had to do with money. If you don't think money is the root of everything, you crazy. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil, not money. The love of money that is the root of all evil. You can have money. Balfour Declaration. There is a guy. His name is Benjamin Friedman. Benjamin Friedman. Go listen. He's Jewish. Go listen to him. He's Jewish. He'll tell you. He'll explain it to you. There are people who will explain it to you. I had to go into this long explanation, okay, because all these things we're doing, even with the Secure Party, they created all this because this whole financial system. All right, here's another document I want you to understand. It's called the Jewish Shitar, or the Jewish Star. Let's see if I can get the PDF of it come up. The Shitar. Oh, here it is right here. That's what I think. This is the kind of stuff I research. The Shitar's effect on English law, a law of the Jews becomes the law of the land. The rational study of law is still to large extent the study of history. English law, like the English language, is an amalgam of diverse cultural influences. The legal system may fairly be seen as a composite of discrete elements from disparate sources. After the conquest of 1066, the Normans imposed on the English an efficiently organized social system that crowded out many Anglo-Saxon traditions. The Jews, whom the Normans brought to England, in their turn contributed to the changing English society. The Jews brought a refined system of commercial law, their own form of commerce, and a system of rules to facilitate and govern it. These rules made their way into the developing structure of English law. Several elements of historical Jewish legal practice have been integrated into the English legal system. Notably, among these is the written credit agreement, shitar or star, as it appears in English documents. The basis of the shitar, or Jewish gauge, was a lien on all property, including realty, that has been traced as the source of the modern mortgage. Under Jewish law, the shitar, the shitar, where is it? All right, shitar, permitting a creditor to proceed against all the goods and land of the defaulting debtor, but movable and immovable property was subject to distraint. In contrast, I'm gonna stop right here. Do y'all see where this mortgage came from? Who created it? Now we can understand who's in control of all the. What is it I got to do? I don't even understand. The reason I don't even understand what I got. I can keep going and going and going and going and going. Just keep on pulling out stuff. And people on pulling out stuff, they just keep denying it. They created this whole financial system. The Muslims didn't do it because interest is against Muslim law. It was against the Christian law too. Rabbi Finkelstein, the important thing is the interest. The important thing is the interest. All of your tax money is going to pay only the interest, not the principal. Everybody's too afraid to say it. I'm gonna let the noose get put on my neck because I know a lot of y'all ain't got the balls to say a lot of this stuff. All right. I know I don't know why, what happened to the men. All right. But, it's like this whole entire system. Look at the Federal Reserve Board. Just look, open your eyes and look. Stop acting like you don't see it. Okay? Where are we heading? What do you want me to say? I don't know what else. I don't know what else to say. I don't know. I don't even know what else to say. I've been researching for 15 years. And let me put it like this. You know why I started making money? I'll even give y'all another little jewel how I started making money. I had a Jewish man who taught me how to make money, who taught me how to think, And when he gave me that secret, my whole life changed. They know how to make money. They do. They do. They know how to make money because they created the entire system. They created this stuff we're doing. We're talking about liens. Secure parties about liens. They the ones who created it. Your religion. All your religion. You Muslims and you Christians, your patriarchs and your religions are Jews. Jesus is a Jew. Isa is a Jew. Abraham is a Jew. Isaiah is a Jew. David is a Jew. Dawid is a Jew. Moses is a Jew. I think we can get a consensus on who runs the world. He who controls the paradigm is God. Let me give y'all a book. This was a very, very good book that it's called The Book of Abramelin. This is a book on magic. It's a book on magic. And it's a book on sigils. 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 And sigils are used in creating logos. And creating logos and things of that nature. You got to study the science of sigils. And this is a great book. It's called The Book of Abramelin, but it got some very interesting things about speaking with angels and things of this nature. But this is definitely a book that you should have in your library. It's called The Book of Abramelin. I just put that out there for all of y'all. I'm not going to go deep into it. It's only for those who have an eye to see and an ear to hear. Doctor Strange movie is a very good movie. I'm going to have to do a part 2 of this. We're going to have to come back and do a part 2 because I kind of digressed off of it. However, I am going to do a part 2. I'm going to do it later tonight. So be around. I'm going to do a part 2. How was this show? Was it interesting? Can we get some likes? Get some likes and everything. I hope I didn't offend anyone. I wasn't trying to offend anybody. I just want people to understand the nature of the system and what's at stake and what type of country do you want. You want a communist country or do you want a republic? All right? Do you want to protect your freedoms? All right? Then you have to start to take action. You have to open your eyes and see what's going on. This encroaching communism. And I didn't understand what it was. I didn't know what communism and Marxism. I didn't know what the Bolshevik Revolution was. I didn't understand. They kept on talking about occupying Palestine. I didn't understand none of that shit. I used to hear all that shit. I was just trying to make some money and fuck hoes, okay? Like most of you out there was trying to do. I was trying to do the same shit, okay? You got to put that to the side. Matter of fact, you shouldn't be participating in that at all. That's when I was at a very low level of thinking. I've elevated my thinking since that point, okay? We have to start, very important, you have to start valuing your families again, right? Your business is your family. Understand, you got to get this modern way of dating and all that. That's not conducive to having a family. You got a misconception about the purpose of a family. It's not about your fucking happiness. I ain't happy. It's about duty. Put together a family trust. Give some structure, all right, to your family organization. Have some goals for the family. The family should have a goal. Write it down on paper. Anyway. Okay, if you tell a family that you don't want to need their public services, you're going to have to follow that with action. Because how they work is they don't work off words. They work off action. Actions speak louder than words. If you don't want no services from them, then stop taking them. You should be putting everything in a business anyway, because everything in the public operates through business. That's the next thing. You should be having a bit. Nothing should be in your name. Take everything out of your name, put it in a business. Let me put it like this. You passing through. You came with nothing, you're leaving with nothing. Put something in a structure, maybe a trust or something like that, for use. Everybody on this planet is just using things. This is an illusion of really about ownership. Ownership is really an illusion. Anyway, I'm going to catch y'all later. What time is it? I've been on this thing. How long I've been on? An hour, 42 minutes. When I come back tonight, we're going to finish this Nature of the Remedy document. We're going to do a part 2. So this is part 1. And in part 2 tonight, I'm going to take phone calls. All right. So y'all be ready to call in after I get through, and I'm going to run through it next time. But I had to give y'all this information because y'all need to understand when y'all look at somebody like Kanye West and y'all talking about, oh, Kanye West is crazy and all of that. That man is not crazy. Them people are not crazy. They're not crazy. That man is very intelligent. He understands what's going on. He just doesn't care. He sold his soul. He sacrificed his mother. He didn't came out and said it. He said, I sacrificed my mother. Y'all know about the Hollywood sacrifices and all of that? Y'all know about none of that stuff? You think that's all just conspiracy theory, huh? All right. Anyway. Peace to the gods. Like, comment, and subscribe. Seminar on the 14th and 15th, Houston, Texas. Registration link will be in here. Donate. Peace to the